Alright, what's good YouTube? It's Jojo ASMR here, and today, like every single person and their mum, we're doing a ban list prediction. I'm here with well-renowned Yu-Gi-Oh! Spieler, Christian Urena, if you want to introduce yourself.
What's up, guys? Christian Arena, YGO.
So yeah, we're doing a ban list prediction today. Knowing us, we're going to release this video and the ban list is going to drop like the day before, but it's fine. Better late than ever. So, overall thoughts going into it. We have some new sets coming out. We have the Battles of Legends set, which is coming, and we have Legacy of Destruction. So we're sort of trying to take that, I guess, into account. So what I've gone ahead is list some of the cards that people have been talking about should either be hit or maybe come off the list. To be honest, I don't really see a lot of cards getting like banned in this particular ban list coming up. I feel like some of the fire decks are a little bit too new, so what are your thoughts? Do you think they're going to really try to kill this deck straight off, or do you think that they're going to do one of those like consistency hits?
Yeah, I was actually thinking literally what you just said, consistency hits. I think like Bonfire or Wanted, maybe even Snake Eye Ash, just like the 2 or 1, kind of like the OCG hit would make sense.
Let's just jump straight into it. The first we have the Floods. I haven't included Skill Drain here, but I probably should have. But what are your thoughts on, obviously, Anti-Spell Summon Limit?
I think they're definitely not good for the game. They just promote like really toxic like side deck, only like when you go first. Anti-Spell is basically like another copy in Pure Order, and that card's banned, so
Yeah, I agree. Do you think I feel like a lot of people are seeing Summon Limit getting limited, no pun intended. But
I would like for them to ban it, obviously, but I don't think they would ban. I don't think Konami would ban it right away. I think they would try to limit it as more realistic, kind of like they did Disco Drain at first, and like all the other ones, like Gozen and
yeah.
Rivalry.
All right, we'll put it at 1. We'll put it at 1. I can see these cards getting limited. It's about time. Snake Eye Ash. I've sort of put all of the Snake Eye and Diabellstar engine cards here. What are your thoughts? I mean, if you had to hit, what do you think is the most realistic hit that they're going to do in these next 4 cards here?
I think most realistic, I think it'd be similar to OCG where they either put it at 2. I would like for it to go to 1 because that makes the follow-up a lot worse and like it's not as powerful. But I think more realistically it goes to 2.
I think, okay, so here's my thought process. It's like Poplar, Wanted, Diabellstar, Bonfire, like all these cards were sort of just, not only were they just printed, but they're also like high rarity printings, so it makes sense to me, at least when I think about it. If I were Konami and I want to like reprint these cards and try to like sort of capitalize on that because the deck is like $1,000, that it would make sense to me, because I feel Snake Eye Ash only has a super rare printing, right?
Yeah.
So my thought process would be like, maybe they'll just limit it, because I don't feel like they need to reprint this card. So that's what I think. I'm gonna put it in limited. What are your thoughts?
I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I would prefer it to limit it because I think that would hit the deck a lot. Because not being able to add like a Snake Eye Ash for the following turn off original or off Snake Eye Ash hurts a lot.
Yeah,
So
it's
that would also
true.
be really good.
And like it would make it at worst case like Oak would have to add it back, which is like still fine. So you can still recycle your one of Snake Eye Ash. But I feel like, do you think if they limit Snake Eye Ash that it warrants any of these other cards being hit in the deck?
I don't think the other cards should get hit if Snake Ash gets limited, just because like the follow up's so much worse, and you're also hitting consistency.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing will make it so that the deck might play actually just worse into Droll. Because like, if you go Bonfire for Snake Eye Ash, like, it's going to be a bit bad. I mean, you can, even if you get Poplar there, like, you're still getting cooked by Droll. You can't go for an original into an Oak line and stuff like that. So I think limiting Snake Eye Ash will actually be a big hit, because Droll will actually be good unless you hard open your one of Snake Eye Ash or 1-for-1 or something like that.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think it would be based if they hit Wanted to 1 as well, but the card's like $100 and something. They haven't reprinted it, so I think they could either put it to semi-limit or have no change at all. It's sort of a 50-50.
It's so expensive. They haven't hit it yet. I mean, they haven't reprinted it yet, so I could see like no change or semi-limit, like you said. I think makes sense.
All right, well, we'll put it at 50-50. It could be no change or a semi-limit. Next, we have some of the Fire King cards. What are your thoughts on them limiting Kieran?
I don't really mind Karen Personally, I think it'd be at 3. They are getting new support later, but that's like way down the line. So maybe when that new support card comes out, that pops a card and adds a card. Maybe when that card comes out, it can get hit. But I think right now it should stay at 3.
I agree. It's like the Fire King cards sort of did nothing wrong, and like as the format went on, and like people just started realizing that Pure to a lot of people was the better deck, and then people are siding out the Fire King cards anyway when they're playing Fire King. So like I hope they don't hit it. I feel like the real problematic cards that make this deck feel unfair are the Snake Eye cards. So I hope they don't hit Kieran. I hope they leave it at 3, but I'll be quite surprised, to be honest, if they touch Kieran on this ban list. But my gut feeling, yeah, I feel like they're not going to change Kieran. I feel like it's going to stay.
Yeah, I agree.
Next we have King Calamity. So we have cards outside of the fire cards. What are your thoughts? I personally think this card needs to be banned. Like, I know it's not at the forefront, but it's just...
Yeah, the card is just super toxic for the game. Like, if it gets summoned, the game just ends. Your opponent can't play any cards. There's not a lot of outs to it without having to main like bad cards or side bad cards for it. I think just ban it all together.
Like they did just errata it, so like that reason makes me think they might not touch it. But I feel like it's just get it out of the game. Like they banned Scythe and whatever, like a format too late. So hopefully they ban King Calamity. What are your thoughts on D-Shifter?
I think it's fine at 3 because like only bad decks can play it.
Yeah.
So like I'm not too worried about those decks. Like if I play versus Cash, it's kind of whatever. And like the only deck I'm kind of worried about, I guess, is Flunderies. Yeah. Like, when Flunderies draws this card, it's a lot powerful. But I think like the bad decks need some powerful cards, so I think leaving it at 3 is fine.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's just personally, I would love to see this card get hit because it's just, you know, it's just it feels like an instant win button. But like you said, I feel like Konami really wants to give those worst decks a chance. I mean, but I don't mind if they don't hit it because I want to play Ritual Beast when Terminal World comes out, so I'm gonna have fun with that deck. So next we have Fenri, another card a lot of people are wanting for some reason to get hit. I don't think they're gonna touch this card, but what are your thoughts?
I think it's only really I mean, it's starting to see play in the Snake Eye decks, but I don't think it's like that much of an issue card.
Yeah.
It's really only there to like kind of out Floodgates and like just be like a good start. Like I don't even know how to say, like it's just a good card. It's just really what it is.
It's just a pang. Like yeah. All right, we're gonna say that they're not gonna touch it. This next card though, I actually think they might touch it. It's Prosperity, but what are your thoughts?
I think when this card came out, I thought it was gonna get banned like really fast. Because it's just broken, right? You're looking at the top. It's basically cheating. Like you're looking at the top 6 cards of your deck and then picking out whatever card you want.
I think the maths, is like if you play a 3 of and you see like the top 11 cards of your deck, like I forget what the hypergeometric calculator says, but it's like 65-70% I think to see a 3 of, which is just like game breaking. So yeah, and like if you go second and you have 12 cards, it's probably even more. So it's like I feel like this card, it's about time for it to get limited or hit on the ban list somewhere. I mean, but I don't know. I feel like it's gonna go to 1 personally. Like who knows? But then again, it's not really doing anything right now. So I feel like at some point this card's gonna get put to 1 or hit on the ban list in some capacity. Maybe not this format, but someday we'll be right.
I could see it getting hit to 1 too, because like if you limit Snake Eye Ash, I think the Snake Eye decks can just play Prosperity.
Yeah, no, that's actually so true. And it hits a lot of other decks, like a lot of the bad decks you were talking about too. Like it's just a good consistency hit to everything. Here's an interesting card a lot of people have been sort of complaining about, I've noticed, is Crossout Designator, which is so funny because this card literally saw no play for like 2.5 years until just recently, and people are crying. So what are your thoughts?
I think they should just hit the combo decks that are using, like it's basically just Snake Eye, right? This card was never playable until now.
Yeah.
So I think once they hit Snake Eye, then people aren't playing the same type of cards in their decks, and the card just becomes really, really bad again. So yeah. I think it's fine at 3.
Okay. Another Floodgate card, sort of similar to Calamity, sort of I guess, is Sanctifier, which what are your thoughts on this one? I mean, like it's a gimmick puppet card. It's just, I feel like it's the only unfair part about Branded, aside, I guess, Branded Fusion's a bit broken, but I mean, there's always the Ash Blossom meme, but Sanctifier, I feel like, is a card which, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this one, but what are your thoughts?
I'm down to ban it just because it's the same thing as Scythe, same thing as Calamities. Any card that says like your opponent can't do X thing are really bad for the game, and it just
Yeah.
doesn't really. It's just not good for the game, I think.
Yeah, like
Overall.
I feel like that deck can keep 3 branded fusion. I think it's good to have branded in the game. I feel like
Hmm.
it's just good to have that representation and diversity in the format. So, but I feel like it's just Sanctify, which is the only ignorant card that they really have. So just banning that would be great. Here's one which is sort of rhyming to the OCG ban list, which we saw Little Knight get semi-limited, which I don't even know why they did that. Maybe it's just to sort of warn players like, hey, this card's on our radar. But what are your thoughts on SP? And I put another one here, which I'll give sort of my 2 cents on, which is IP. But what are your thoughts on SP at least?
I think SP doesn't make like if you're gonna hit it, you have to ban it because putting it at 2 doesn't make any sense, and then putting it at 1 when most decks play 1, it doesn't make sense either. But the only reason why I think it could like the only thing that would make a change, I guess, is like if you play Extravagance and SP in the same deck.
Yeah,
But
that's
even
true.
then, it's like it's
Yeah,
kind of
I don't
sus.
think they're
But
going to touch this card. But what I was going to say is, I feel like what would low-key be just sort of a based hit is if they ban IP. Because I really love SP as sort of like just an option to help you going second and cracking into boards. Like having Typhon, having Little Knight, like having all these extra deck cards to give going second an actual chance to like beat these ridiculous turn 1 boards. Like I feel like SP is real. It feels really fair when you're summoning it, going second and cracking a board, but I feel like it's IP into SP, which is only when it feels like actually a bit ridiculous, because just IP just is just a bit. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I think yeah, I think IP is kind of it might be similar with Crossout where it's like it's really good in the Snake Eye deck, but before the Snake Eye deck, I don't think IP really saw much play either.
Yeah.
So it might just be one of those things where if you hit the Snake Eye deck, maybe IP is just like fine. But I do agree that it's like the IP ending on IP and Flamebird is so broken. Like
Yeah.
it's just not okay.
Like, and it also they're gonna be reprinting this card in the 25th, so I don't think they're gonna touch it. But I just wanted to give my 2 cents that I feel like if people are complaining about Little Knight, they should maybe look at IP first, because I feel like SP is
Definitely.
only really crazy when you summon it on your opponent's turn with IP. But next we just have some cards which are sort of like looking and taking inspiration from the OCG ban list. So we have Tidal. I feel like this is gonna come back. I feel like everyone's predicting this, so nothing really much to be said here. Summon Sork, it got the new errata. I don't really know what the new errata is just yet, but I don't know. I mean, like, maybe it could come back this list, but I'm gonna guess it might be the next ban list. But what are your thoughts?
I think it could come back with the Rata. The Rata's not that good. Maybe the newer decks are coming out is why they came out with this card again, like the Rata, just because it's going to support future decks. But right now, I think it's not going to do anything. So
Okay.
it's like fine.
Next we have a card I personally really want back in the game. It's Heavy Storm. What are your thoughts?
Harpies is back. This card's like kind of a worse version of it, so I'm all for it. Also, it beats like the Floodgate decks, so I'm always down for like another card that beats those decks.
Yeah, for sure. I think I really want this card moreover because I love playing the Unchained deck. So you can maybe like thrust for a heavy and then like blow up your dead spells and traps, and that's kind of like mad.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So that'd be mad. I didn't put Shavara in this list as well, which I hope they bring back, but I don't think they're gonna bring back Shavara at all. Okay, so we have Change of Heart, which I think was peeled off from the OCG ban list. Do you think they're gonna semi-limit this card or start slowly like peeling this card back off the list?
I could see them putting the 2 and then eventually 3. I mean, we have 3 mind control, and like no one's really complaining about that, and it's very similar card, just you can't attack, which I don't think makes much of a difference right now in this game.
I don't know,
So,
like
I think it's
these.
fine.
I don't know. I feel like these cards just like I played these cards at least at YCS Sydney, and they felt broken. But I mean specifically for the Fire Mirrors. But I don't know. I just always feel like that these take control cards, like they come on and off the ban list, and it only takes like a certain format. Like I remember the Sky Striker Salad format where these Change of Heart like take control cards were broken. So like I don't know. I feel like we just get in this pattern where they sort of fall out of the meta for a few years, then they get released off the ban list, then there's a format where they're broken, so then they all get limited again. So, I mean, I feel like they're going to semi-limit it, maybe bring it back again, but yeah, that's just my 2 cents on it. We have Pank, which I think can go to 3. I think everyone's predicting this one, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm okay with that too. It's just a good going second card, which the game needs, and I'm fine with that, to be honest.
Same thing with Terratop, just going off like the same pattern. It might be good for the XYZ deck, the Goblin deck. So, and same thing with Harpara. I feel like all these cards are just sort of moving their way up the ban list. Do you think Engage is going to come back to 3 this list?
I don't want to see it back to 3 just because a lot of people would just add 3 Engage and 1 Hornet Drones to their deck.
Yeah, it'd be like the Orcus deck, right?
Yeah, and I don't know if that's even good, but maybe it's fine at 3. I haven't tested it, so I don't actually really know much about the engaged drones.
I have now these last 2 cards are sort of just like wild card wish list sort of cards. Thoughts on Misk? Have you read it?
I believe that card at 1. I hate that deck so much.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't know, like, I've always had a soft spot for Dinosaur because it just feels like an underdog deck. It's done nothing for like 4 years, but I get it. Like, this card's a bit toxic, makes your dudes unaffected, especially, like, I'm pretty sure they can do some nuts new stuff, but I don't know. There's a lot of counters to this card. There's DD Kerr, Ash, there's Skullmeister, there's a lot of stuff, so fair enough. I mean, I'll leave it for no change for now, but I sort of am hoping they put it back to semi-limit, but, you know, probably not. And then the last card, which is just a card to sort of, I guess, anticipate for Tenpai Dragon coming out, which I've seen a lot of people playing the OCG, or just this card coming off the ban list as well. There is Kaiser Coliseum. I don't want this card to come back. What are your thoughts? But do you think it's maybe an actual chance they might touch this card?
I think it should just stay banned because it's just like another one of those floodgates. Like, it's like almost like Kaiser rivalry goes in. If they bring it back to 1, I guess, and if they brought it back to 1 and took away like anti-spell and summon limit to 1, also I guess it's fine because you're removing some floodgates and adding like 1. That's kind of when they added back Scodian to 3.
Yeah, you're like trading 4 floodgates for 1.
Yeah, like I'll take that trade. I think it's fine.
Let's put this as our wild pick. We'll put it to 1. There's maybe a chance he can bring this card back, but overall, I feel like this is decently accurate. I think we got quite a few things on top here, so it'll be interesting to see what the result is. But thank you so much, Gunther, for coming on the channel. Do you want to what's your YouTube channel so you know everyone here knows where to find you?
Christian Reina YGO.
Beautiful. All right, well, everyone, make sure you check out Christian's channel, and thanks so much for coming on the video today, buddy.
Yeah, anytime, bro. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, you guys, for watching. Toodles.